Okay, so let us get the next concept. So in the previous sessions, we discussed about the concepts related to how to create the Linux. I mean, what is meant by Linux and what are the uh, how the Linux has been evolved, and then why we need to learn the Linux. What is the Linux directory hierarchy? Okay, so these are the concepts that we have seen in the last session. So if you see here, so the Linux directory hierarchy will be in this format. There will be a root directory. Inside the root directory, we will be having so many different directories will be there. So we discussed about a few directories, and then what we need to discuss in this Linux session here is we need to discuss about the basic commands of the Linux environment. How to list the files, okay, how to create a directory, how to copy from one directory to the another directory, how to navigate from one directory to the another directory. These are all the concepts that we need to understand. So whenever we are working with the Linux environment, the basic concepts of understanding the Linux environment is to understand the basics of the commands. For example, if I want to list the files, okay, to list the files in a Linux environment, we are using listing files and folders or directories uh, in a directory, or else in Linux we use the command called as ls. So ls is a very short command which we are going to use, which is going to display only the file names. For example, if I give ls-l, it is going to display the file names with the associated metadata or else with the associated properties. So here you can see what are the different files that are available, what are the different folders that are available in the folder called as root directory. Now when I give ls-lt, okay, so whichever are the files that are latest modified files, the latest modified files will be displayed first. For example, what I will do here is cd root. So inside this directory, I'm going to create some files. Okay. So to create a file, the command which we will be using here is to create file, the command is touch. So to create empty file. Okay, to create an empty file, we will use the touch command, touch space file name. When I give this, then automatically a file will be created, which is an empty file. No data will be there inside the file. So here you can see touch test file. So I'm going to create like this. So here a test file has been created. And one more thing that you need to understand here is whenever you are creating any files in the Linux environment is totally what I can say extension free. So we don't need to provide any extensions to define the which type of file it is. By default, Linux will know about the type of file it is. For example, so to know the type of file, we will use the command called as file command. So the command name itself is a file command, file space, file name. If you give it, then it is going to tell you the type of file it is. So for example, if you see file test file, when I give this file test file, then here you can see it's an empty file. It is going to tell you it is an empty file. For example, file test dir. So it is going to tell you that it's a directory. Okay, test dir is a directory. So like that, file is a command which will be helpful for you to define the type of file it is. For example, now what I will do, nano test file. So here you can see shebang slash bin slash bash. When I give this and echo hello world. So when I give this file, it's a scripting file, shell scripting file. Now if you see here, file test file, then it is going to tell you. So inside the test file, we are having a burn again shell script. Okay, it is an ASCII text file which should be executable. So this is what it is saying. For example, in the same file, if I give like this, if I'm going to provide HTML, and then you will have slash HTML. Inside that you can have the body, and inside that you can have slash body. Okay. I mean, inside that you can provide the data, but if you see here, now what it is going to say, file, test file, then it is saying it's an HTML document. So file is a command which will be helpful for you to define the type of file which we are accessing. So to create a file, we are going to use the command called as touch. Okay. It is going to create a empty file, and to know the properties and to know the extension or else to know the type of file that we have created, we will be using the file command. And then we are having another command called as, so here we have created certain files, ls-l. Here you can see we have the test file, and this is the test directory. And here you can see these are the specifications of that particular file. These are the metadata of the file or properties of the file. So if you see test directory is a directory. It's a directory file. So now that's why it is saying that D option is there. And what are the permissions that we are having on that particular directory. And then this is the number which is going to tell about the directory or a file. And here you can see this is the root user, the user and the group. Okay. And the next one is how much size is the file. So here, whatever you are seeing, it is the size of the file and at what time it is modified. So this is the modification time. So if there is a regular file, you are going to see minus. So for example, it's an HTML file, CSS file, or else any text file, then it is going to come like minus. Minus means it's a regular file, normal file. So like that, we can understand whether it is a normal file or directory or link file. So shortcut links will be there. Hard link and soft link files will be there. So these files will be there inside the Linux environment, which are represented by L in the beginning. So we are going to represent those type of files as like L. For example, uh, this will be overwhelming for you. But for example, if I am having a test file, okay, what I can do over here is, so to show you it's a link file, what I can do over here is, you can see here ls hyphen l slash. Here you can see bin is a link file. So that's why it is going to show you like L. Okay, so whatever the linked files are there, those are going to be shown as L in the beginning. So which are the regular files, then they will be shown as minus. And the directory files will be shown as D. And there will be character files like that. There are so many files that are available inside the Linux environment. Here in Linux, everything is called as a file. Even the devices are also called as a files only. The CPU, RAM, and everything will be considered as a normal files only. So with a different starting letters. Here you can see like L, D, minus. For example, it's an block device, storage device. So for storage devices, we are going to get B. Okay, slash dev. Here you can see there will be B will be there. What is meant by B? B means block device. Okay, so which can store the data, and there will be there are like these are the block devices which can store the data in the devices. So the devices might be called as a files. The normal files are the files. Directories are also called as files. Everything in the Linux environment is considered as a file only. Okay. Now, what we are talking about the ls command. Let us talk about the ls command. Ls is a command which is helpful for you to list the number of files and folders that are available in your Linux environment. So when you see here, when I give ls, it is going to display only the names of the files, which means that short list. Here you can see it is just showing the names of the file. So when I give ls-l, now it is going to show you the complete details of that particular file. And the cd root. Now here you can see ls-l. I will give ls-lt. So whichever the file is the latest updated file, that will be shown in the beginning. Whichever the last I mean, the oldest updated file is there, no? So that will be shown in the last. For example, if you want that in the reverse order, then you can give ls-ltr. So this is the last edited file. Last edited file in the sense, I mean, the first edited file, or else I can call it as. So the so many, I mean, so much amount of time back we have edited this particular file, and whatever the file that you are seeing in the below, then that is the newest file. Okay, at the last, whatever you are seeing the file, that is called as newest file. So this is the reverse order how you are going to check the file types. And then if you want to read this particular data in the human readable format, then what you can do means ls-lh. When you give this, it is going to show you in the human readable format. The test directory is of 4 KB and the test file is of only 30 bytes. Okay, so that is how you can read in the human readable format. In the same manner, ls-la. So the meaning is that, or else ls-a also you can give list all the hidden files. So whatever the hidden files are there, so those hidden files are given as a list. For example, ls-la, here you can see. So dot ssh, anything before the file name, if you find dot, then that is called as a hidden file. Now what I can do here, I will rename the test file to dot test file. So when I rename the test file to dot test file, that is also not going to be seen over here. Why? Because it's a hidden file. So if you want to see the hidden files, you can give the command ls-la. Then you are going to show us the, I mean, then this is going to show us the hidden files in the Linux environment. So here you can see ls-la. So these are the hidden files. Okay, so that is how you can understand which file is a hidden file, which file is a normal file. And by checking out the permissions, you can know that which is an executable files. And by the help of file command, we can know that which type of file it is. So these are all the concepts of your Linux environment. And then if there is a navigation concept over here. So what is meant by navigation? Navigation means moving from one directory to the another directory. How I can move from one directory to the another directory. So here you can see we have a directory called as testdir is there. So if I want to go inside this directory, cd testdir. So when I give this, so you need to understand one thing. Okay. So there are certain ways to access a directory. So there are two types of path. One is the relative path and the other one is the absolute path. Relative path is a path which will be helpful for you to move from or else navigate from the root directory to the end directory, whatever the destination directory that you want to move. And absolute path is something different. So if you see the relative path, so relative path will start with the root directory, that is slash. Okay. So if I want to navigate from normally from so if you see in which directory I am in the slash root directory. So cd slash root slash test directory. So this is how you can enter into the test directory. So this is called as a relative path. So now what is a relative path? The path that starts with the root directory is called as a relative path. So whenever I am navigating from one directory to the another directory, I will be using the relative path in general. But if the directories are available inside the directory where you are working, then you can use the absolute path. What is the meaning of that? So here you can see cd dot dot. So here we have the test directory available inside the root directory only. So simply what you can do, cd test dir. When you give this, we will be able to access the directory. So you don't need to provide the complete path like slash root and test directory. You can simply the path that is equivalent to the relative path that is called as absolute path. So absolute path will be helpful only whenever the folder is within inside the division or else within inside the same folder. Otherwise, the absolute path will not work. Okay, but when you come to the relative path, wherever you are, you can access the files by using the relative path. So this is the concept of absolute path and relative path. So I hope you understand this. Any questions up to now? Whatever we have discussed, file command, ls command, cd command, relative path and absolute path. Any questions?
Yes.
Do you understand the topic?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah.
Right. Now let us discuss about the next command. So the next command is cd command. Cd means change directory. So I want to navigate from one directory to the another directory. Then I can use the cd command. So just give me a second. Okay. So the next one is navigating from the home directory to the another directory. How we can navigate from the home directory to the another directory. And what is meant by a path? So here we have to discuss about the path. So for example, whenever we are working with the Linux environment, path is very important to store the directories. Okay. So whenever what is meant by actually path means whenever we give any command or else whenever we want to execute a path, the Linux operating system will search for the file in that particular path. So if you see here, when I give echo dollar path, here you can see what are the different directories are there. All the directories, I mean, wherever the binaries are located, all the binaries are shown in the path directory. So if I want to navigate from my current location to the any another path location, so whatever the directories that are there, then how I can navigate. So if you see pwd, currently I am inside the root directory. I want to navigate to the user local bin directory. How I can navigate? cd/user local bin. So now if you see, I am in the user local bin directory. The user is inside the user local bin directory. For example, inside this, if I create a file no, that can be accessed like a command. I can use that particular file as a command. That we will slowly understand. But this is how you can navigate from one directory to the another directory by using the cd command. So whenever you are navigating from one directory to the another directory, if the directory is present in the current working directory, which means that if you see here, this is the directory which I am currently working. For example, I am working in the root directory. I am working in the root directory. So root users directory. Inside this root directory, if I am having an another directory, if within this root directory, if I am having an another directory, like for example, test directory, then if I am working inside this root directory, currently the user is present inside the root directory, then you should not give the relative path. There is no necessity of giving the relative path. Simply what you can do when you give cd test directory, you will be going into this test directory from the root directory. But if the directory is a different directory, okay, it is in the different location, then what you have to do, for example, there is a directory in the slash user slash local slash bin like this. This is the directory. So, which means that there is a user directory. Inside the user directory, there is a local directory. Inside the local directory, there is a bin directory. If I want to navigate to this bin directory, then what I have to do? Currently, I am in the root directory. So here I have to use the relative path. So what is the path that I have to use here is cd slash user local bin. Like that, I can use the relative path. So where you have to use the relative path and where you have to use the absolute path. So these are the two things that you need to keep in mind. Okay. So don't get confused. This path is different and the path variable is different. Both are not same. Okay. Path variable will define define that in Linux environment whenever a user wants to execute a command where all the commands are available. So where the executable files are available. So path variable will define the executable file paths. Okay, file directories. And the next one is here you can give another command. If you want to know which user you are, you can give the command who am I. So it is going to tell you the which user you are. So we have seen the CD directory. So if you want to come out of one directory back, simply you can give CD dot dot. So you will be coming back to one directory back. So here you can see user local bin is there. I just came out of the bin. So right now I'm in the user local. So if I want to come out of two directories, simply you can give cd dot dot slash dot dot. So now you just came out of local and user directories. Right now you are in the root directory. So this is how you can navigate from backwards also. If you want to go forward, what you can do cd user and cd local and cd bin like that you can give. If you want to come out of this, then you have to give cd dot dot slash dot dot slash dot dot. So you will be directly entered into the root directory. So this is how you can come backwards. Okay. So this is about your cd directory. Cd command, change directory command. For example, you want to list out, again, coming back to the listing command, if you want to list out the directories, here you can give ls. So here you can see there are ls-l. For example, I want to list out any file or folder that is starting with P letter. Then what I can do? Simply you can give ls-l p star. When I give this, then it is going to show you whatever the files that are starting with the P it should be displayed. Okay. Uh, Here, what I can do is ls-l. So ls test star. When I give the test star, then it is going to show you the list the files inside the test directory. So like that, you can see whatever the files that are available with the wildcard. There will be a wildcard mask. There will be, wildcard usage will be there. There will be question mark will be there. For example, I will create the files for or else touch file 1 dot dot 10. When I give like this, there will be some 10 files are going to be created. So if I want to get only the files, then what I can do ls-l file star. When I give this, then what is going to happen? So it is going to list to only the files. The test directory is not going to be listed out. For example, I want to give ls-l star 1 star. When I give like this, then it is going to show you the whatever here the meaning of this star means it's a before one you can have any characters it might be so this is not the don't consider it as a words as per the Linux environment these are the characters before one you can have any number of characters and any characters and after one also you can have any characters but there should be one in the middle so in front and back side you can have any numbers or the names the characters can be there. For example, if I want to list like this time it is going to show you only the file. Why? Because I did not give anything behind. Okay, so whatever the names that are there inside before that you can display. For example, I can give like uh, LE, you like s- star LE, or else I can give ls-l star or see there file. It should be displaying whatever the meaning is that you can have any characters before the it should be displaying like that. Okay, so this is the concept of how you can get the list out the files from this configuration. Okay. And then we have discussed about the cd command, and then there is another command called as mkdir. Mkdir is a command which will be helpful for you to create a directory. So mkdir space directory name. So new directory. So here you can see new directory is created. Okay. So to create that. But if I want to create subdirectories inside that, what I can do here is mkdir -p. P means parental. New directory new 01 slash new 02 slash new 03 slash new 04. Like that, I can create multiple directories. So if you see cd new directory, inside that we will have the new directory 02, 01. Inside the new directory 01, you will have new directory 02. So like that, what is going to happen? The listed directories will be if you want to create a listed directory, you can create like mkdir -p. You have to provide with the slashes. For example, if I want to know what are the directories in which the directories are getting created, I can simply give mkdir -pv new directory slash -wold1 slash -wold2 slash -wold3. Like that, I can create. So if you see, it is going to display -v means where browse. It is going to show you the visualization. Inside the new directory, old directory 1 is created. Inside the old directory, old directory 2 is created. Inside the old directory 2, old directory 3 is created. So -p option, -pv option will enable you for the verbose configuration, or else visually showing you the directories which are going to be created inside the another directory. So this is how we can create the directories with the help of mkdir command. And then we are having rmdir, rm commands. Those we will see in the upcoming sessions. And then we will discuss about the shell scripting. So these are the basic commands that we can use in the Linux environment. Now, let us discuss about the topics like what we are going to cover. Those who are attending newly to the session, I just want to give the topics which we are going to understand. So I hope everyone, previously the candidates who are attended to my session, they know about the syllabus and the topics. I'm not going to take much time here. So as it is a third demo, I'm going to wind up very fastly. From Monday onwards, we will be having a regular sessions. So here the demo is, so the demos are completed today. So whatever the 3 demos that we have decided, the 3 demos are given. So from tomorrow onwards, I mean from Monday onwards, we are going to start the basic Linux concepts, and then we will be going ahead into the multiple Linux commands, and we will be discussing about the networking topics. Firstly, we will cover the Linux, and later we will be going ahead into the concept of DevOps. In DevOps, we will start with the Git, and then we will go ahead into the multiple DevOps tools. In between, we will include the AWS environment. So it is going to take some 3 to 4 months of time to complete the sessions. Yes.
Yes, sir. AWS లాస్ట్ కవర్ చేస్తారు సార్, ఫస్ట్ DevOps తర్వాత AWS
In between ఉంటుందండి.
ఇన్ బిట్వీన్ ఉంటుంది.
ఓకే.
అంటే
DevOps
నేను
అంటే
మార్నింగ్ టెరాఫామ్ కట్టాను సార్, కట్టాను టెరాఫామ్ జెన్కిన్స్ ఉంది కదా. ఇప్పుడు సార్
చెప్పండి. ఇక్కడ
అదే
కాదు,
రిమైనింగ్
ఒక్క
బ్యాలెన్స్
నిమిషం.
పేజ్ చెప్పండి సార్.
ఒక్క నిమిషం.